The iPhone 11 Pro is one of my favorite devices that I own right now, aside from my Tesla Model 3, of course, and my GH5, my main camera. But this is a fantastic device. What I use my iPhone 11 Pro mainly for is to keep track of my finances, manage my time, and use it as a creative tool. Those are the three things that I use my phone for, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite apps for the iPhone 11 Pro. Big thanks to NordLocker for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get right into my homepage of my iPhone 11 Pro, and let me point out the dock has never changed for me ever since I got my iPod Touch way back in the day. I've always had, text messages, email, Safari, and settings in my dock. If you don't have those four things in your dock, you're doing it wrong. Now, going to the top, of course, I have my phone icon that I use for phone calls, and then I actually use the built-in Apple clock for my alarms, and I also use it for my Pomodoro technique for getting stuff done. So I use it to set timers when I want to get some deep work done, and also I use the bedtime app. If you don't use bedtime, you should definitely use it. You can use it to sync to your health app, and it tracks your sleep, and you can see like the average time you're in bed, so you can make sure you're getting enough sleep. All right, so I also use the stock calendar app on the iPhone, and then I have my camera icon. Now we're getting into the second row, which starts with Filmic Pro. So I'm a videographer, and this is an awesome app for the iPhone to let you customize your video settings. If you want to take some high quality video with Filmic Pro, especially with the iPhone 11 Pro, with the amazing cameras that it has on this phone, you can go in here and you can customize the white balance, you can customize the frames per second, the aperture, the shutter speed, all that good stuff if you want to use your phone as a creative tool for capturing video, which I do. Next to it is Lightroom. This is my photo editing app of choice. So I use this to edit my photos that I take on not only on my iPhone 11 Pro, but I also take photos with my GH5, and I can wirelessly transfer them to my iPhone 11 Pro, and I use Lightroom to edit my photos if I want to edit them. Lightroom is free. You can load custom presets in here from other people. You can create your own custom presets. They have built-in profiles and presets, and it just gives you the basic editing functions that you need for any photo editing app. So now next to that is an app called Oak. So if you are new to meditation, or if you want to get into meditation, this is a good app to get. A lot of meditation apps are paid subscriptions, so you have to pay a lot of money, like one-time fee, or pay monthly. This is just a free, simple to use app that allows you to get into the act of meditation, and it's a really good app. Not only does it have guided meditation, but it also has powerful breathing exercises and a way to fall asleep if you want to wind down and help you get to sleep. So and it tracks your growth, which is really cool. And then moving on to Evernote. This is my note-taking app of choice. I've used this for years. It syncs across all my devices. I actually pay for the premium. I think it's like $30 a year, but a lot of people can get by with just the free version. But this is how I keep track of all of my notes and ideas and thoughts, and my video ideas and my research and just anything. This is what I use. I'm just used to it by now. I'm proficient with it, and I'm trying to wean myself off of it slowly but surely onto just Apple Notes, because I think you can do about 90% of the things in Apple Notes that you can do in Evernote, but I still kind of prefer Evernote. So moving on to my next row of apps, which this is sort of like getting into the financial apps, Wealthfront, and this is kind of how I keep track of my net worth. It gives me a snapshot of all of my current account balances for my different bank accounts and money accounts and market accounts. So I like to use this to make sure I know where my money is going and that I'm on path to get to my financial goals. And the cool thing about Wealthfront is that you can get a savings account through them, or a taxable investment account with them, a retirement account, stuff like that. So they offer one of the highest interest rates for savings accounts right now. So I have a savings account through them. So I like Wealthfront a lot for managing my money and my investments. And then speaking of investments, I have Robinhood on my homepage as well. And I am by no means a stock expert. I just started getting into it recently just to play around. I threw some money in there as play money and just invested in some companies that I support and that I believe in. So I've got some REITs in there, but I also invested in Tesla and ARK, which is a really amazing fund for innovative technology companies. I invested a couple in Apple as well, because I'm a big fan of Apple and Tesla. If you can't tell by now, if you have watched any of my videos, you know that. But Robinhood is just an easy, intuitive way to invest, get started in investing. Now, they did have some trouble earlier this week. The app went down. If you're a day trader, probably go with something else. But if you're like me, I don't really go in there day to day. So it wasn't a huge deal for me. But yeah, they did go down, which not a good look for them, but I still prefer Robinhood as my go-to stock trading app. And what's also cool, you can get a free stock if you sign up for a Robinhood account through my link, which I'll leave in the description below. The next two apps are related to YouTube. Of course, I have my YouTube Studio app. This is how I keep track of all of my analytics on my YouTube channel and respond to all of your guys' comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can by using this app. If I'm out and about and I'm standing in line, I pull this app up and I get caught up on some comments and reply to your guys' comments. So it's a good way to manage my YouTube channel. And then of course I have the YouTube app next to that where I go and watch other people's videos. I'm not a big YouTuber, I'm not a big watcher of YouTube videos. I don't watch a ton of YouTube videos, but I do have it on my homepage because I do like to go in here and keep track of what's going on in the YouTube space, because after all, I am a YouTuber and I have to do that. Now, I said I don't watch a lot of videos, but this next app I use to listen to YouTube videos. So this next app is called Musi, one of the most underrated apps that you can get for the iPhone. They have a free version, but go ahead and just pay to get the ads removed. And once you do that, it's awesome. What you can do with this is you can listen to YouTube videos, the audio from YouTube videos, and lock your device and the audio will continue to play. So this is how I listen to music that is not on Spotify or on any other streaming platform. So if it's only on YouTube, I'll go in here and you can add any YouTube video to a playlist, or you can just stream it and you can listen to the audio while your screen is locked. So it's a good replacement for YouTube Premium if you don't want to go that route. Next up is Audible, which you already know I'm a huge fan of. This is how I get all of my audiobooks. I'm a huge auditory learner. I consume a lot of audio, and Audible is, I listen to a lot of audiobooks on my long drives that I have, and they of course have been a previous sponsor for my YouTube channel. I love Audible. I'm an Audible user and I am a big fan of audiobooks in general, and Audible is just the best place to get your audiobooks, in my opinion. Next up is Spotify. So I can't live without my music. I use Spotify every single day, whether it's in the background, if it's focused music when I'm doing work, or if I'm going to the gym. Always listen to music or podcasts or audiobooks. So like I said, I'm a big auditory person. I love consuming audio in all kinds of different ways, and I love Spotify for music. And of course, I'm a big podcast junkie, and Pocket Cast is my app of choice for managing my podcasts and listening to podcasts. I absolutely hate the built-in podcast app on the iPhone. I've been using Pocket Cast for years. I pay a couple dollars for it, but it's worth it if you listen to a lot of podcasts like me. I listen to a ton of podcasts. I get a ton of my entertainment and information from podcasts, and I couldn't live without Pocket Cast for sure. So I keep that on the homepage. And then moving on to Arlo, this is how I manage my wireless security camera system at my house, so I can view my cameras wherever I am through my phone through this app. I can speak through the cameras. I get alerts if one of the cameras detects motion or audio. So if I get a package delivery, I get a notification on my phone from when the camera records it, and I can trigger the alarm from this app remotely from wherever I am. So it's just a good security system, and it's just part of. I did a whole review on this. If you want to check that out, I'll put that link in the description. Also, I did a review over this next app, which is my Nest thermostat. So I keep that on the home page so that I can remotely manage my thermostat at home. It's pretty simple. There's nothing much more to it. I don't have any more Nest devices, just my thermostat. Next up is a super simple app. It's how I open and close my garage door through a device called GarageMate, and it's just one big button to open and close my garage. I did a review over that as well. And then of course, Tesla app is on the home screen. So this is how I control my Model 3 from wherever I am. So I can start the climate control remotely. I can see its location. I can see the miles per hour if somebody else is driving, like my wife, if she's driving it. I can see how fast she's going because she's a speed demon. You got to watch out for her. So, and then you can, remotely unlock it. You can of course do summon, all those things with the Tesla app. And then moving on to my fitness apps, Strong is the app that I have recently started to use to track my workouts. I used Full Fitness for the longest time, but they haven't updated it in like 3 years. So I was like, I gotta move on to something that actually stays updated regularly. And I ended up choosing Strong after doing some research, and it's a free version. So this is completely free. They have an upgraded paid version if you want to do that, but I've been using the free version and it works really well. You can create your own routines and then track your workouts through those routines. It has built-in timers. You can see your progress as you go. You can implement custom exercises, but it has a database of exercises already built into it. So really, everything is there. It tells you how to do the exercise. So Strong is how I track my workouts. And then of course, to track my calories, I use MyFitnessPal. I've been using that for years. If you are trying to lose or gain weight, the most important thing you can do is track your calories, because just like with managing your money, if you're trying to earn money, if you're trying to save money, you have to track your expenses. And it's the same thing with calories. You have to track what's coming in and what's going out. So I use this to track my calories because I'm always trying to gain weight. It's hard for me to gain weight, so I use this to track my calories. And when I do use this regularly, it does work. Like, I gain weight. And moving on to the last couple of apps on the home screen here, Things is my app of choice for managing my to-do list and my projects, my current projects at the time, just managing my tasks. It's only built for Mac and iOS, so there's like no web version, there's no PC version. But if you're a Mac user and you're an iPhone user, this is probably one of the best options you can get for managing your to-do list and your tasks. It's simple, it's easy to use, very robust. I think this one costs about $10, but if you are dedicated to productivity and getting things done, definitely need something like this, and it's worth it for sure. And then Habit is a fairly new one that I've gotten, and it's all about building good habits, and it works really well. It's got a great interface. It has a lot of customizations, which I love. You can customize it, really drill down. You can see your logbook. You can track your progress on all your habits. It has built-in habit ideas that you can go through, or you can create your own custom one. And it really does work if you want to actually build habits, be productive. I feel like I'm always trying to be more productive and get work done. I'm a little bit of a workaholic, so I'm trying to build better habits, have a better balance of working hard, and then also, making sure I have time to meditate and actually learn, maybe do something that's not so work related, but also stick to my habits for being productive and getting things done. So that is a good app to track your habits. Now, before we go into the second page, with all these apps today, it's very important to make sure your data is secure, and today's sponsor, NordLocker, is here to help you take back control of your security and privacy. NordLocker is an easy-to-use file encryption app that's compatible with Mac and Windows, and it allows you to securely store and share all of your most important files. Normally, whenever you transfer files to the cloud, you essentially lose control over them, but with NordLocker, all you have to do is drag and drop your files into NordLocker folder first, and they are automatically encrypted with state-of-the-art cryptography. Think of it as an added security layer to your data. NordLocker never stores your files anywhere other than where you tell it, and they never have access to your files. Instead, NordLocker lets you keep your files wherever you're used to. It just makes them secure by encrypting them. And it not only secures data that you want to keep private for yourself, but you can also use it to encrypt files that you want to share with others, so you can share sensitive files quickly and securely. It also integrates nicely with all the popular cloud storage services. You can get NordLocker for free by clicking the link below to nordlocker.net/AndySly. And to save on NordLocker Premium, use coupon code AndySly at checkout. Again, that's nordlocker.net/AndySly. Now, moving on to my second page, this is a lot of apps. We're not going to go over all these apps. I just want to point out a few apps that you may not know about and that you may find helpful. So let's start with the first folder, TV movies. This is really everything that you already know. This is how I stream any of my TV and movies. So Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff, Amazon Prime Video. If we move on to the next folder, which is shopping, of course I have Amazon, which I use Amazon all the time, B&H Photo for camera stuff. Now, if you don't know about Retail Me Not, that's a good way to get coupon codes if you're shopping online. You just pull this app up right before you're about to check out, search for your store, and it'll give you a coupon code, and you can try that coupon code, and most likely you'll save some money. And then let's look at Greentoe, which you may not know about. Greentoe is a cool way to make offers on brand new products. It's usually like electronics. I've used it before to get cameras and stuff like that, but they also have a lot of other stuff, not just electronics. They have like appliances, stuff like that. But really, this is just a good app that I like to use to save a couple $100 on a brand new gadget or device. Moving on to the travel folder, of course I got my Uber and Lyft, my Apple Maps in there, and then this is a good app if you haven't heard of it, Turo. It's how I rented my first ever Tesla back when I wanted to drive a Tesla for the very first time. It works really well, and you can not only rent other people's cars through this. It's sort of like Airbnb for cars. So you can rent other people's cars, but you can also rent out your car and make some money. So that's a cool app if you don't know about that. And then of course I have PlugShare for finding electric vehicle charging stations. And then on the second page I got some other apps like VRBO, my flight apps. I don't really game, so I have like 4 things in my game folder. Heads up, of course, when the family is around. I don't think I've played games in years. Then I have my Apple folder where I just put some of the stock Apple apps into that folder that I don't use. And then I have a Google folder. Gosh, they are really controlling everything. So I keep all of my Google apps in here because I do have Google Wi-Fi and use Google Docs, stuff like that, Google Calendar. And then moving on to the health and fitness folder, this is fun. You know, I like to use some of these apps. Zombies Run is a very cool app. This makes running a little bit more fun. It basically puts you in a game and it tells you a story in your headphones, and you're basically in this zombie apocalypse and you're running from zombies and you're picking up supplies as you go along, and every now and then zombies will chase you, so you have to pick up the pace. And then of course I have a stretching app. I'm the most inflexible person ever, so I have to have that body weight app. So if I'm out and about, you need to do some body weight exercises. 7-minute workout, which is amazing to have if you want to do a quick workout if you're out traveling. Map My Run is what I use to map my runs. It tracks your pace. It tells you how long you run, like, you know, how many calories you burn, stuff like that. And then let's go to the food folder. AeroPress timer for, you know, making the best cup of coffee. If you don't have an AeroPress, get it. And if you do have an AeroPress, get this AeroPress timer so you can geek out on making different types of cups of coffee. And then a lot of these are just, you know, recipe apps. Fitmin Cook is a wonderful app for looking at gorgeous looking recipes of food that are usually healthy. So that's a good app to have for recipes. And Flip is a cool app for finding your local ads. So I hate getting paper ads in the mail. Flip is a good way to get it all digitally, and you can see your weekly ads for the grocery stores and stores near you. Now I also have a music folder. Spotify is my main music app of choice, but I also am an Amazon Prime member, so I have Amazon Music on here, have SoundCloud, Pandora, just in case. SoundHound is a cool app to have. It listens to a song and tells you the name and artist, so it recognizes a song for you. Genius for, you know, music lyrics. Music's Match is also a music lyrics app. It'll listen to a song and give you the lyrics and show them in real time as they're playing it through the song. Songkick for finding concerts near you based on your favorite artists. And then let's go on to the photography folder. Don't have much in here. I have my, you know, my stock photos app. Amazon Photos, if you don't know, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get unlimited cloud storage of all your photos for free included with your Prime membership. So I use that to back up all of my photos to Amazon Photos. Visco is just an alternative to Lightroom. It's a good photo editing app. I just prefer Lightroom, but I keep Visco on there just in case. And then some other apps in here. And then Vellum is a really good app to have if you want to get some really nice looking wallpaper for your phone. The videography folder just has some things in here that my teleprompter app, my VHS cam, my DJI app for my drone, stuff like that. Nothing too special in there. Then my books and learning app. So this is, you know, Goodreads is a good way to look at reviews of books and find your next favorite book. That's motto, and it really does help you find books. And you can go in here and read people's reviews. You can rate books you've read. It'll give you suggestions for books. And then I have, of course, my Kindle, because I prefer to use digital whenever possible. If you don't know by now, I love not having physical things. So if I'm not listening to an audiobook, I will have the book on Kindle version and read it through my iPad or here on my iPhone. Blinkist is a cool app for giving you summaries, audio summaries of self-help books mostly. So if you don't have time to read a full self-help book and you just want the main takeaways, this is a cool app to have. And then of course I have my online learning and online courses apps such as Skillshare, LinkedIn Learning, that used to be Lynda, and Teachable. And then moving on to the finance folder. So I have Mint for tracking my budget and my income and expenses, sort of like Wealthfront, but I like to use Mint too. A lot of these are investment apps. So Vanguard, M1, Fidelity, those are all investment apps. Fundrise is a cool new app I've started to use if you want to get started in real estate investing. This is an easy way to get started with real estate investing without actually having to physically deal with the real estate. Credit Karma is a free app that lets you keep track of your credit score and your identity. Make sure you don't have identity theft anywhere, and it gives you a quick look at your credit score so you can keep up to date with that. Truebill gives you a way to quickly cancel subscriptions that you don't want anymore. So a lot of people have like Netflix or some type of streaming service that they forgot they had. Truebill lets you easily get rid of those. And I have Venmo for transferring money to friends and family. My real estate folder, I just have Zillow, Trulia, Redfin in there for looking at apartments and houses. Smart house folder, I own a wide variety of smart house products. I have an Ecobee light switch. I have an August smart home lock. I have an Amazon Alexa speaker. So yeah, I just have a wide variety of apps in there. So I had to create its own folder, which is funny. And then I have a utilities folder. I have a speed test, so testing my internet speed. Fing lets you analyze the network and see what kind of devices are on that Wi-Fi network at that time. You never know when you need a bubble level or a measuring app. So I keep all the random utility apps in that folder. Next up is the social folder. So this is where I keep all of my time-wasting apps. I'm a big Twitter user. I'm a big Reddit user, but I try to keep these on the second page so that I don't see them every single time I go on my phone, because I know I can waste some time on these apps. Next up is web apps. This is sort of like a miscellaneous folder. I keep my cloud storage apps in my Dropbox, Amazon Drive. Pocket's a cool bookmarking site, so you can save any article or anything from the web, really. Save it to Pocket, and you can access it later on any device. LastPass is my password manager of choice. Backblaze is how I back up my Mac, so I can use Backblaze app to access any of my data that I've backed up over the years remotely, which is really nice. And then AllTrails is an amazing app if you are a hiker or biker or walker. This is the best app. You can go on here and look at trails around you or search any place that maybe you're taking a trip. We went to Switzerland and we use this app for finding the best hiking trails, and it gives you like reviews, it gives you pictures, you can download offline maps. It's just an incredible app to have if you are into hiking. And last but not least, we have the car folder, which I keep car related driving apps in here. I drive my Tesla Model 3 for Uber and Lyft, so I keep my Uber and Lyft driver apps in here, along with Stride. So if you drive your car for business purposes, or if you drive for ride sharing purposes, Stride is a fantastic app. It's free. It lets you automatically log your business miles, saves you a bunch of time. And then I have my Tesla Stats app. I see a bunch of cool stats and analytics and graphs about my Tesla Model 3. Dashcam viewer is also Tesla related, and this lets me plug my USB drive in to my phone and view the videos right from my phone if something happens, if my car captures some type of footage. And then of course Waze is my go-to GPS app that I use to navigate. So as you can see, I use my iPhone 11 Pro a lot for tracking my time and attention, consuming audio and video, using it as a creative tool, and managing my finances. A lot of people can say phones can be bad. Well, they don't always have to be bad. So try to make your phone a positive thing instead of a negative thing. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I will leave the links to all these apps in the description below as well. So please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. My name is Andy. I'll talk to you in the next one.